This is a James Poeartistry consultant moment. Hello, perceptive readers. This is a James Poeartistry consultant moment, and this will be a strange, probably conversation or discussion that I'm having with you now, because it totally goes into the art perception of matters. We talk about John Ross. You see, I've talked about him quite a bit over the years. And I believe in an artist's right to have their creative expressions. Yes, I do. I believe also that they deserve the money that they're able to make from it. With that being said, I always state that once the artist actually puts their work out there, or if they've kept it in, security or seclusion until someone wants to pay for it through a museum or what have you, whether it's even monetized, in that nature, then it becomes subject to the public domain to actually critique it or say whatever they want to say about it, and they have that right to do that. With that all being in mind, I want you to know that I'm actually going to talk about a piece of artwork, and it was a key statement that was made in this report that I just listened to, that it's because of that key statement that was made, okay, I said, I think I want to comment on this. And if that key statement wouldn't have been made, I wouldn't even be saying anything about it. Here it is. Okay, what artwork are we talking about? Well, it has something to do with the official portrait of King Charles that came out. Have you seen it? Oh, hey, just do a search. I'm sure you'll see it. And what is so interesting, why did I pick this commentary that actually came from the YouTube channel called Top History? Now, why did I choose to comment on actually this video that they made about it? And it sounds like they have used like an AI voice to relate the information. Well, I'll tell you why. Because as I listened to the report, I'm letting you know that some of the assessments that came from persons in King Charles cabinet, or people who look out for the monarchy, the way it's represented, you see what I'm saying, and viewed, they actually have a PR, if you will, public relations type of people who look at items of this nature, and especially if it's an official portrait. That's one of the keywords. But the other keyword that I told you that made me really say that, yes, I'm going to comment on this, is when they said that, this being his coronation, the first portrait since his coronation. Okay. Now, I'm just going to give you an idea of something to consider. Remember, I told you in this report, or their feeling, persons, if you would call King Charles public relations camp or what have you, they actually made some statements and assessments that, I'm going to let you know. I did have some of those same thoughts run through my mind when I saw it, when I first saw this portrait. They mentioned that the way that the artist, maybe it's a pen name or what have you, called Jonathan Yao, the way that he was so covered, in the the reddish, pinkish, blurred type of countenance all around that regal face, still showing a face that I would at least say was one of seriousness, the penetrating eyes of wisdom, and yet the face still all around what was surrounding him, it was like it was protruding that there is most likely a deep sense of love behind it too. Now that's what I picked up when I saw it. However, the way that this report went on, they really elaborated on the way that Jonathan Yo's contrast of all the other colors around him, in a lot of cases or senses, and they're probably right, took away from maybe the dignity of the man, because in their view, it was more of, maybe putting a little bit too much on his rocky beginnings, if that's the way you want to look at it. I think they even use the word vices and things of that nature. Now, see, I am aware of, different, some of the historical figures, some of their background and rocky history, if you want to call it that. And so with that being said, this is my thought as a consultant, okay? Because this was the first portrait, okay, that has come out since his coronation. What I would, just throw out there to any other artist, I said people have different facets to themselves. It is amazing to put forth sometimes, all the rough stuff of your life first, at times, because there's a Bible passage that even talked about that, when you hear the case or the view of somebody else first, you see, before the whole story, then sometimes that's the one that leaves the impression. That's the one that will even make you look like you just oh my goodness, you're hell on earth or what have you. But this is what I will say, because I told you, and I'm mentioning this not on the side of royalty. I'm literally mentioning this on the side of just history, of historical figures. And I've always said, especially until we, God comes and sit down on his throne in his tent and things of that nature, where we just won't even need to always know such items or what have you, that during this time that we live in, though, I do believe in still having, any history of that nature that shows us, okay, what was going on during this time period. Okay, all right, we got the facts here. All right. And so in this case, all right, in this case, even though as a very skilled artist, let's say if I was in Jonathan Yaw's place, would I have made a portrait in this way right after, usually within the first, coronation? No, I wouldn't have, because it's just my way of, the way that I just view people in general, you see, because I do believe, like I said, people have many facets to themselves. And even when there's been rough spots in their life, then I still firmly believe and I know where that Jonathan Yaw was probably coming from with his view of the matter. And yes, that's right. Well, I believe now there still may be some artists out there that could take a look at that portrait and then through their knowledge, you see, and I'm talking affirmations, spiritual and otherwise, that they could still come out with artwork that would show that one aspect of you will not be overshadowed by all the other goodness, humanity's help, historical significance and stuff, that will really go to show still that face that was on this first bringing out to all of us like, oh my goodness, you see what I'm saying? Would still be in a way that goes to show this is what the face totally still has become from all this beautifulness in this way and all this beautifulness in that way. Do you understand what I'm saying, perceptive readers? Well, this is just a consultant's opinion. And as I mentioned before, it was not something that I was even planning on commenting on. But there is something to be said that, you've heard me mention this before about people putting their best foot forward first. If you're going to meet somebody, for the first time, I tell you about persons who you've never seen them put on suits or tuxedos or anything. And what you didn't realize was sometimes when they knew who they were going to meet, who they were going to talk to, next thing you know, you seen them coming out the house with this and that on and stuff. And be like, oh my goodness, I did not know that side of that person. And see, and that side of that person, it doesn't mean that they, this was not a part of who they are. It's just that there were just certain points and periods in people's lives where they're like, I don't need to act on that side of myself. There's no reason to. And see, and it's a matter of opinion then where somebody said, well, why isn't the purpose? Like I said, it's just a matter of opinion until we all go into becoming perfected spiritually. You see what I'm saying? Some persons are just going to do what they want to do or feel to be able to function and to be comfortable. But I'm still telling you today that same individual, depending on what role that they are in that you'll never really see, but their profile, their resume, their experience already showed they know what to do, that they can do this or that then you may see those same points in their history come back and be that person, but now through some of this experience, be even better. Okay? So, that's all I'm going to say about that portrait. Have a very wonderful day, perceptive readers. Take care.